This TradingView indicator accurately predicts the direction of the price. And in this video, we're going to take a look at exactly how to find the indicator in TradingView. We will take a look at the best settings, and we will of course also take a look at the most important part, and that is how to use the indicator correctly. So guys, let's not waste any time here. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so the first thing you want to do is to open up a clean chart in TradingView. Right now as I'm speaking, I'm looking at gold on a daily time frame. But don't worry, you can use this indicator on shorter time frames as well. Now we're ready to open up the indicator. So we go up here to the indicators tab in TradingView. And what we want to search for here is bias and sentiment strength. And as you guys can see, the indicator I will show you guys in this video actually received an award from TradingView. And that is of course a very good sign. But now let's open up the indicator. Now, as you guys can see, the indicator has appeared here on the chart. And this indicator can look super confusing in the beginning, but don't worry, I will walk through how to use the indicator in a step-by-step manner. But before we do that, we actually have a few important settings we need to change. So we navigate here to the lower left corner and we press on the settings tab. Then we want to head over here to the inputs tab in the settings. And here, as you can see, we have lots of settings that all have 1 as the standard setting. And this will actually make the indicator much harder to read. But what we want to do here is that we want to change the MACD to 2 or even 2.5. I think I would go for the 2.5 here to make the MACD indicator appear clearer. As for the RSI scaling, we can go for a scaling of around 5 here for the RSI. We also have the slow stochastic, which we can go for 1. And in this case, we can actually keep the awesome oscillator at 1, the alligator at 1, and the volume bias here at 1. We also have the volume bias source, and you can see that the standard here is high, low, close 3. This one you can use. Personally, however, I do prefer to use the open, high, low, close 4, which takes into account all the points on the candle. So I'm going to show us the OHLC4 here. I will not go into detail about these different settings because, as always, I want to keep the video as short and concise as possible. So for now, let's just choose open, high, low, close 4. The volume bias length here, you can also argue to change this one up a bit, but I want to keep it simple and have this one at 30. So these are the settings you can use, at least for gold here on the daily time frame. As for the style tab here, this one is optional. You can change the colors of everything and how they look. You can, for example, change them to lines instead of histograms. So guys, if you want to, you can of course also change how the indicator looks like, but I think the standard colors here are pretty pleasant. So now guys, we're ready to go down here and press OK. So now guys, to the very important part. How do we actually use this indicator? This indicator looks super complicated. And the reason we have so many different lines here, you can see we have actually 6 different lines here, is because this indicator combines 6 different indicators in one. And let's actually go to the settings tab once again here and go to the inputs tab, because here you can see the indicators we combine. So we use the MACD, we use the RSI, stochastic, we use an indicator called the awesome oscillator scaling. If you want to, guys, let me know in the comments if you want a video on this indicator. We have the alligator indicator that I also haven't covered yet, but these are all the indicators we combine. So we combine multiple momentum indicators, but the amazing thing about this indicator is that we also use volume, and to be more precise, we use something called volume bias, and that is a measurement of the volume strength. So this indicator is very comprehensive, very amazing. So a big shout out to the maker of this indicator. So now then, how can we use this indicator to try to predict the price direction? Well, in order to see a strong move towards the upside, like we for example see right here, we need to see a few things on the indicator. What we want to see here is that we want to see all the momentum indicators being blue. So from this point right here, you can see this exact point, all the momentum indicators are blue, which indicates a bullish momentum. But in order to see a strong trend, what we also want to see here is that we want to see a rise in volume strength. And you can see the volume strength here by looking at the purple bars right here. So when all the indicators are blue, and at the same time we're seeing volume strength increasing, this right here can be used as a buy signal. But as always guys, if you have been following the channel for a while here, you know that we always also want to look at the previous market structure. And as you can see, if we look back a bit here on the gold price, you can see that we had a pretty significant high right here. And a very interesting thing you can see about this candle right here is that two things happen. First of all, this candle right here was actually the first candle that had all momentum indicators being bullish and also had rising volume. So the indicator was here showing an upwards price direction. But what we also had with this candle was that we broke this important resistance level. So this right here is a great example for a long trade. As for your stop loss, you can use a few different methods. You can keep it pretty tight here and set your stop loss below the most recent low here before the breakout and use a risk to reward ratio here of 2. So this right here is a pretty simple trade. But now guys, and this is super important, how can we use this indicator to try to predict when the price is about to reverse? Well, if you look at this red candle right here and you go down to the momentum indicator, you can see at this point, this was the first time the momentum indicator turned red. And at the same time, if you take a look at the purple bars, you can see that we had a decreasing volume strength. So this right here is a clear warning sign that the trend might be coming to an end. However, guys, this does not mean that we have entered a downtrend, because if you take a look at this whole price area right here, you can see that some of the momentum indicators are still bullish, some of the momentum indicators are bearish. The volume is starting to flatten out here. And when we see the indicator disagreeing here between bullish and bearish, this right here is a signal that we have no real trend direction and that we need to be cautious. Alright guys, so if you want to be able to enter early into new uptrends and downtrends, it's important to master breakout trading. So if you have the time, I highly recommend all of you to watch this video on a breakout trading indicator next.